Today I want to share some lessons that took me over 25 years to fully grasp, and I still can't really even say that I fully grasped them. These are all things that I wish somebody had told me when I was younger, and I hope by the end of this video you have a few more tools to put in your life toolbox. Each of these things I'm going to share and talk about, I think they could all each have their own video. In fact, I might have even done a video on each one of them already. But at this point, I've made so many videos, I don't really remember if I've already made a video on it. If you go check out my Sweat Talk playlist, it'll be on the end screen. You'll be able to find out if I actually did go over each one of these and make a full video on them. Welcome back to another episode of Sweat Talk. My name is Chad. I don't have these numbered in any order of importance at all. I'm only using the numbers so that I can keep track of exactly what it is that I already went over. Number one, quit selling yourself so cheap and know and understand your value. Because one thing that I've learned over the course of my life is it's that time is the most valuable thing you have. And we often sell ourselves short by giving away our time with little to no return. When you know the value of your time, you'll begin to see what your actual worth is. And you'll begin to stop treating it like it's an unlimited resource, because it's not. Our time is finite, and we only have so much of it. And whether it's a relationship or a professional goal, if it's your job, if you don't value your time, nobody else will. The reality is when you start giving away your time to people or projects or whatever that don't serve you, you are telling the world that you do not value your time. And you can start valuing your life by valuing your time. Quit wasting time on things that don't push you forward, and quit spending time on things that drain you with little to no return. Quit hanging around with people who don't value you or people that don't respect you. And remember, you're not obligated to hang around with those people. Even though you may have known them your whole life, sometimes they could be family members. You don't owe them. If they don't serve you, if they don't treat you right, if they don't treat you well, you don't need that shit in your life. You owe it to yourself to get it out of there. The number two thing is men have to create and provide in order for them to feel useful or to feel that they have a purpose. As men, we have an innate drive to create, provide, protect. And if we're not doing that, we'll start to feel lost. This is why purpose is so important. It's because it gives us something to work towards, and it gives us something that's bigger than ourselves. And if you're feeling unfulfilled and you take a look at your life, look at it and think, are you creating anything? Are you providing anything for anybody? Are you building something of value? And when I say building something of value, it could be anything. It could be your body, it could be a career, it could be a business, it could even be a strong relationship. And if you're not providing anything to the world, you'll feel empty, because we have to feel like we're contributing to something. That's how most of us are going to define our value. And when we lack purpose, it leads to frustration, depression, anxiety, and even anger. Get out there and create, build something that's worth your time and your energy. Build something that's amazing. The number three thing is men and women need each other. And this red pill, blue pill nonsense is a disease. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, but I don't care. I'm not here to give advice. I'm not here to seek validation. But when I say this, I'm speaking from a man who's been married for 24 years, who's built a strong, healthy relationship with his wife. This whole idea of men versus women or women versus men ideology, it's nothing but garbage. It's no way to think, it's no way to be. It's like a disease that creates division, and it's completely missing the point. It's completely ignoring our primal instincts and trying to push our instincts to the wayside. If a man and a woman has a disagreement, they don't get along, they get a divorce, the woman takes the man for everything, or the man takes the woman for everything, because I've seen it go both ways. It's not the gender, it's the people that are involved. Because ultimately men and women, we're meant to complement each other. And because of that, we need each other. And when we know our roles and we support each other, then we'll actually begin to thrive. And all around, stop buying into this nonsense that one gender is supposed to dominate the other, because that's just not the case. We're always going to be stronger together. And if you're stuck in that mindset, you're limiting yourself to how powerful a positive and true relationship can actually be. You're missing out on a true partnership. Us as people, we're here to reproduce. And we have to go back and look at our lizard brain, and we have to figure out what our instincts are again, because we're being told to go against our instincts. We're being told that our lizard brains are wrong, and it's causing laziness and victims, as well as loneliness. The number 4 thing is learn how to take advice. And this is something that I learned the hard way, on both ends. Learning the hard way of receiving the advice as well as giving the advice. Because when you go to somebody, or somebody comes to you and asks for advice, and then they only use part of it, or they completely ignore it, you're not just wasting the other person's time, you're completely disrespecting them. And I just ran into this. A friend came to me, asked me for some advice on his situation. I laid it all out, step by step. And I actually gave him advice because I know his scenario, I know his situation. And then he went and completely ignored everything that I said. And I don't know if it was too hard, I don't know if it was ignorance, and I don't know why he wasted my time. And in my younger years, I did this too. I was 100% guilty of it. And now that people are coming to me for advice over the last several years, I know exactly why people say the things that they do about giving advice. I'm not here on this YouTube channel to give advice. I don't give advice on this YouTube channel. I'm only here to offer my perspective and share my life's experiences. I can't give advice to everybody. And about the only advice I will give is don't take advice from random strangers on the internet. I see people in the comments section giving advice, and I would suggest to stay clear and carve your own path. When somebody comes to you and wants advice for something, and they just ignore it or they don't use it, it's like kicking somebody in the balls. But free advice it's often worth what you paid for, nothing. And that's because if it's free, if you paid nothing for it, then that means that you don't value it, or you won't value it as much as if you were invested in it. And there's a reason why oftentimes people have to pay for good, sound advice, whether it's through a life coach, one-on-one sessions with somebody, a therapist, a psychologist, psychiatrist. But even still, most of those people don't give advice. They ask the proper questions to where you give yourself your advice, and you're capable of having that aha type moment. Because when you invest in something, you are going to take it more seriously. You're going to find that you're going to be more eager to learn, and you're going to be more eager to actually apply the advice that you are seeking. When you're asking for advice, either apply it or don't ask, to show respect for the person who's providing it or who would provide it. Just don't waste their time, and more importantly, don't waste yours. The number 5 thing is how you spend your time is how you spend your life. Because every single one of us has the same 24 hours in a day, and you can't save that time. You can't save any of that 24 hours. It's impossible for you to store it up, but what you can do with it is you can invest it. How you choose to spend your time is how you choose to spend your life. And just think about that for a second. Every moment you spend that doesn't serve you, every moment that you spend that doesn't serve your goals, and every moment that you spend that you don't grow, that doesn't help your well-being, that's a moment that you can never get back. And when you look at your life, ask yourself, how am I spending my time? Am I investing in things that will bring me value in the future? Am I investing in things that will benefit me or my family in the future? Or am I just going through the motions and wasting time on things that just flat ass don't serve me? And time is the most valuable currency we have. Make sure that you spend that shit wisely. Number 6, giving gratitude will create happiness. And that's the only way to find true happiness. And one thing that I've learned is happiness does not come from achieving success for ourselves. It comes from sharing that success with others. When we finally get to a point where we've actually achieved something, some sort of success, whether it's financial freedom, career success, personal growth, I firmly believe that we have a responsibility to pass that on. We have a responsibility to give back. We need to take what we've learned and what we've struggled with and share it with others. Because remember, giving isn't just about money. It could be about time, knowledge, or even mentorship. And when you start giving to a cause that's greater than you'll feel a shift. That shift is the gratitude, and it's filling you up inside. You begin to realize that happiness isn't just from what you've succeeded at, or that the happiness isn't just what you've achieved, but it's the impact that you can have on others. As I don't feel that it's enough to succeed for ourselves. Because real fulfillment comes when we're able to lift others, and when we're able to create opportunities for others. Remember, a rising tide lifts all ships. Gratitude combined with the act of giving it creates a cycle of happiness that'll grow. And when you give back, you're going to be reminded of the journey that you've been on. And it's going to help remind you of where you were. And it's going to help you feel more gratitude for where you are. It's going to help to keep you grounded and focus on what really matters. That contributing to something bigger than you in itself is success. Number 7, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is absolutely nothing. Remember, we live in a culture that glorifies the hustle and the go, go, go. And to a point, I agree, right? Hello, hey bud. But honestly, sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing. Taking time to reflect and rest and relax, it allows you the opportunity to recharge and focus. When you're constantly moving or you're constantly in motion, you don't have the time to calm down, relax your brain, calm down your mind and your thinking, stop those racing thoughts and think deeply, like in a meditation or prayer. Doing nothing isn't always laziness. It's a conscious decision to pause and allow yourself the mental space to come up with new ideas, to plan your next move. Because I believe you need that time to grow. And don't feel guilty about it. Embrace it, as long as it's productive and intentional. Hello. Number 8, a perfectionist is somebody who's making excuses for procrastination. So I just want to call it what it is. Perfection is an excuse for procrastination. Because you're delaying taking any action because you're afraid of failure. You're afraid of judgment or something not being good enough. But that truly is all in your head. If you're constantly planning, you're stuck in analysis paralysis and never doing anything, then you're just stuck. Because at some point you need to realize that the perfection is an impossible goal and you just need to start. Because the time won't be perfect, the weather won't be perfect, the scenario won't be perfect. No situation will ever be perfect. And you need to be able to push the bullshit aside and just start and quit procrastinating and realize that perfection is never achievable in any situation. You can always course correct, you can always fix a situation, but you're constantly running out of time the more you wait to start. And realize that perfection, that procrastination is a thief of success. And this idea that everything has to be perfect before you start, it's just pure nonsense. If you're waiting for everything to be perfect, all you're doing is holding yourself back. You're waiting for everything to align. Everything's got to be perfect. You are missing out on opportunities. And you'll look back and you'll realize that the only thing that was stopping you from success was your obsession with getting it just right. Let go of that. Start now. Improve as you go. Because ultimately progress is better than perfection. Number 9, you can only control your feelings and you are not responsible for another person's feelings. This is a big one and it's one that it's hard for us to understand, but you truly only can control your feelings. I'm not saying that we can't or we won't have an impact on other people, but that person is ultimately the only one that can control their reaction or how they react to you, because you're not responsible for how other people feel. And too often we carry the burden of trying to carry other people's emotions and trying to change how they think or how they feel. But the harsh truth is that's their responsibility and not yours. But what you can do is you can control your response, your actions, and your mindset. Focus on that, because when you let go, when you're able to let go of that feeling, that belief that you might have that you are responsible for somebody else's feelings, when you can finally get rid of that and let it go, you will feel free. You will feel that burden lifted off your shoulders. You'll be able to give yourself the power to stay centered, to stay calm, and to act with a purpose. And that leads into number 10. Number 10 is you cannot change somebody else's mind. You can only offer your perspective. Because we all have our own experiences, beliefs, and viewpoints. And if you try to force somebody to see things your way, you will end up frustrated. And the best thing that you can do is just offer them a different perspective, to try to look at things or life through a different lens or a different viewpoint, a different point of view. Present your ideas, share your experiences, and let them decide. And if they're open to change, that's great. But if they're not, that's on them. Perfect example is don't waste your time trying to get somebody to like you. Focus on yourself and share that journey with others who appreciate you, who appreciate your perspective, and who are open to your perspective. Because we don't need to agree with each other. We don't have to see something somebody else's way. All we have to agree on is that we all have our own perspective, and that our perspective is our truth. That is our 100% truth. And these lessons took me over 25 years to learn, but now they're all yours. I hope you're able to take these to heart and reflect on them and put good use to them and apply them to your life. Remember, time is precious. Your purpose is essential, and perfection is the enemy of success and progress. Learn how to take advice, value your time, let go of things that you can't control, and always know that gratitude is necessary for happiness and fulfillment. If you made it this far, do me a favor, go down in the comments section and write the word value. That's it, just that one word, value. We need to find value in each other. We need to create value for ourselves and for one another, because every single one of us is extremely valuable. All of our lives have value, whether we realize it or we believe it or not. That's all I got for today, guys. I want to thank you for showing up. I want to thank you guys for those super thanks. It's blowing me away. Your guys' generosity is unworldly. It's amazing that a normal dude like me can go out there and offer his perspective and his thoughts, and other people greatly appreciate it. And for that, I appreciate the hell out of each and every one of you. Thank you for showing up. I hope you're showing up for yourselves, and I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful day. Peace.